what have you seen so far out of Pitt, their quarterback pick?
Yeah, so Pickett's, boy, he's a good football player. He's tough, he's instinctive, throws a good ball. He's a mobile guy. Just plays with a good edge to him and very competitive. Don't know him from Adam, but you can tell all of those things on tape. He's just kind of a baller. And he's got a senior offensive line, very physical, a lot of experience. Got some excellent receivers, couple good running backs that run with power and speed and catch the ball well. And I know they had a setback down in Miami, but had been playing really good football. And it's a team that plays with grit and discipline and well coached, and knows how to find a way to win, and have been in some of their losses again, other than the Miami game and maybe Penn State earlier in the year. They're all games that they had a chance to win, and they've won some really tight games too. Whether it's Georgia Tech or Syracuse, I think it was Duke as well, 448 or something. But so a very aggressive team and a tough-minded team. That's kind of who their head coach is.
Brent, their running backs had a pretty good couple of weeks leading up into the Miami game, that little two-headed monster there. Describe what you've seen with those two guys and what they bring to the table.
Yeah, just, variety of the runs. They run inside, outside zone, powers, counters, some of the option-oriented stuff out of the quarterback read game, and maybe some quarterback design run. And again, a good blend of speed and power, good explosiveness, patience, instincts, run well behind their pads. And a few weeks ago, they rushed for close to 500 yards against Virginia Tech. And so it's a very, good group of backs, to go along with their offensive line.
Coach, how does it change schematically from the Matt Campbell group that you faced 2 years ago?
I would say there's more similarities than not. It's just, it's a bird's eye view. They would know a lot more than me. But they still do a lot of the eye candy stuff, and they run a lot of the jet motion with the swapper, and off a variety of the formations and whatnot. So they're still doing a lot of those things. Run, play action.
Have you seen teams have success against them in these recent 2 games by loading up the box, maybe kind of forcing them to throw?
Well, I don't think anybody. Just football 101. You got to stop the run. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to win the turnover margin to win games. And so, how many ever numbers it takes to stop the run, people are going to commit that. I don't think I've seen anybody on tape say, we're going to be a guy short in the box as a general philosophy watching them play Pitt. And no, hey, you might guess wrong, situationally. Maybe on 2nd and 12, your numbers are for coverage, and they pipe you. But just generally speaking, I think most of the teams are going to commit as many guys as they need to stop the run.
Brent, there's a list of disturbing things from the film review of Saturday's game. What would be top of the list?
Well, the things that frustrated you was just some of our alignments. Whether we were too deep or we're too wide, we don't have the kind of leverage that we needed to, based on the calls. And that happened enough early to get them in the rhythm and put them in scoring position. And then I think a critical play. So so those are plays leading up in that, just the first drive. And when we get off the field on 3rd and 7, then we're off sides. And so I think pre-snap we did some stuff, particularly in the first half, that just gave us no chance. Or again, we're covering their fastest guy, and we get caught flat-footed. We shouldn't be flat-footed. New wrinkle or not, that's not what we're coached to do. And some of our alignments were asinine.
Coach,
I wish I had a megaphone. And there were unlimited timeouts, because those are things you saw, from the sideline that you can't do. Those are just a few things. We got got a cover 2 call. We don't run with the seam route. And the quarterback finds him late across the middle. You know, this is week 12. We got to, you know, those are basic fundamental things that, for whatever reason, not just one guy, just multiple guys here and there. And some guys played really well, and there's 70 plays that look pretty dang good. And but you know, there was an abomination on those other 10, 12 plays. And they made a few plays, you know, too. You know, give them credit. But you know, we had a coverage. They scored 2, you know, touchdowns late, and one of them, you know, where we just busted the coverage over their best guy. You know, the guy says he had a different signal than everybody else, and that's discouraging, you know, as well. You know, so.
Brent, J.D. Davis played really well in light of Trey's injury. Have you heard anything about Trey and his progress and getting back this week?
He's supposed to be good to go today.
Coach, I don't know if there's ever a good thing or a good time for those things to happen, but you've been so dominant over the last 6 games. Is it kind of good to bring your guys down to earth and expose some fundamentals?
I mean, our guys have been humble and they've worked hard. We didn't play well. We didn't coach well enough, obviously. We played well enough to win. We did enough good things to win. And we're not sitting here tooting our horn about it. But you got to have perspective. And thank goodness our offense, you know, completely and totally dominated the game from start to finish. And we needed them. We weren't doing a lot of basic, fundamental, easy things. Again, particularly in coverage. You know, they get a little bunch set early in the game into the boundary, and there's no autonomy about, do I come under the block or do I go outside the block? Against every single buddy we play, against every single practice we're at, every drill we work, you're outside, your help's inside, and we come under and they gain 15. We played so, you know, ignorant at times, you know, and where it's just, that makes no sense. And but that's ours, and we have to own it. We got to correct it, and there's enough. I mean, there's you said it, but I mean, there's a lot more video evidence, and we know who we are. And for whatever reason, we just didn't have them ready to play like we needed to. We're just doing some easy fundamental things. Not talking about making crazy good plays. I'm just talking about just little things. I thought we were late. I think first 40 plays we were lined up. We have plenty of time. You know, they were trying to tempo, and I think our guys, everybody's structure was lined up good through our first 40 plays. But I still felt like we were just a little bit not quite as fast as we need to. There's a few adjustments within certain formations and sets that we gotta do certain things like you do every week. I thought we were just a little bit, no, I'm talking 1 second late. So where you can, instead of a 2-yard gain, it should be a 0-yard gain. That's what I'm talking about. Just the little details like we, you know, ideally need to be.
You said after the game that there were a lot of positives, a lot of players played well. After watching the film, who kind of stood out? And JD obviously came up with the interception. You hadn't produced a turnover in the previous 2 games. Who were some of the other guys?
Well, Austin Bryant was our player of the game, and you know, if you look at grades and those types of things, you know, 99, 7 graded well, 42, 90, 67 graded pretty good, and can't remember about Niles, and corners AJ and Trayvon both played pretty good, and Kendall had a winning grade, but turned the tight end loose down the middle of the field the first play of the second half, and that's for 27 yards right down the middle, and you know, you can't do that.